Another week down, but more football to come. Welcome back to the Kenny C Show. I'm Kenny C on the ones and twos. For those that are new to this channel, you will want to hit that subscribe button because we talk about any and all sports on this platform, especially football during this time of the year, so you'll want to go check that out. Hit up the TikTok too, at the Kenny C Show. But most of all, hit the subscribe button right here, right now. And those that are returning, we're going to do things a little bit differently. As we head into week 13 and depart week 12, we're going to get into the top 5 performances from the week 12 slate. Let's get into number 5. At number 5 here, it wasn't the most prolific of performances by any stretch, but it was impactful because of this stat right here. At number 5, I got TJ Watt against the Chicago Bears. He had a sack and a forced fumble all in the same play, stripped Caleb Williams in the end zone. Nick Herbig recovers for a touchdown, but it's of note in a 31-28 overtime loss for the Bears because he surpassed his older brother in having more career sacks. 115 for TJ, 114.5 for JJ. There's got to be no better feeling. If you surpass Big Bro in a major category on a professional level, you got the ultimate trump card at the Thanksgiving Day table. 36th all-time for TJ. If he gets another sack, he will be tied with Calais Campbell, 34th on the all-time sack list. That's a big feat. That's pretty awesome. And for the Steelers, by the way, if they had A-Raj, let's be real. A-Raj is going 25-5 career lifetime against the Chicago Bears, and the Steelers are winning that game. The Bears, yet again, escaped by the skin on their teeth. And let's be real. The quarterback for the Steelers in that game, Mason Rudolph, he's not that guy. Let's go on to number 4. At number 4, I have a guy that put the team on his back, albeit with some help from his running back, but nonetheless had a gigantic performance in a gigantic game for the Chiefs, because if they lose this game, they fall to 5-6, and their playoff hopes look bleak, but they come away with a victory in overtime against the Colts. I'm talking about Rashee Rice. What a day for the young man. 8 receptions, a career-high 141 receiving yards. He was instrumental in that 23-20 victory over Indy, and that's a potential AFC Championship matchup. Chiefs now 6-5, Colts at 8-3. Mahomes had himself a solid game too, 352 yards, no touchdowns, and he had the pick on the second drive. But Rashee Rice was huge. The 21-yard reception that he had in overtime to set up the Chiefs on the Indianapolis 24-yard line was a big play in that game. Rashee Rice, you studded out, young man. Number 3, let's move right on along to it. At the aforementioned 3 spot, I have the Ohio State product, the potential Offensive Player of the Year, JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba, for his performance against the Tennessee Titans in a 30-24 dub. 8 receptions, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. For fantasy football people out there, 37 fantasy football points. This guy's been an absolute dog all year, and he could single-handedly get you to the championship and win you your league. I think he has now 7 games of 100-plus receiving yards. Guy is a beast, and he passes DK Metcalf in this game. In the third quarter, in 11 games, he surpasses DK's single-season receiving yards record in Seahawks franchise history, 1,313 yards. He's also got 7 touchdowns. He took that secondary for the Titans, Kevin Winston Jr., Darrell Baker, Amani Hooker, Samuel Womack. He put them all in an air fryer and chefed them up for a nice lunch, a pre-Thanksgiving Day meal, if you will. What a performance from JSN. And let's move on to number 2. At the 2 spot, I got Sonic. He said, well, I love you, Knuckles. I don't really need you in this game. Jahmyr Gibbs against the New York Giants in that 34-27 overtime victory. A lot of thrilling overtime games in that 1 p.m. slate. 15 carries for Gibbs, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the 69-yard scorcher that he had in the overtime period, the go-ahead game winner for the Lions. 55.4 fantasy football points, the most by any player in a single game in this calendar year for fantasy football. Oh my Lord, and I know somebody that actually lost. Despite having Gibbs, they still lost. It takes skill to do that. 264 yards from scrimmage for Gibbs. This guy's just a dog. There's no other way to put it. Gibbs is another guy that down the stretch here in these big games, he could get you far and give you a deep run in fantasy football. And let's go on to the number one performance from the Week 12 slate. Best performance from Week 12. In my eyes, I want to know yours. Drop your top 5 right now in the comment section below. Give me who your number one performer is. But for me, it's Myles Garrett. It's the demon against the Las Vegas Raiders in a 24-10 win, which shout out to Shedeur. Finally got a win in a Browns debut for a rookie quarterback. Finally got a W for the first time in 30 years since Eric Zier did it for the Browns, getting a win in his rookie debut. But Shedeur's not my guy here. It's going to be Garrett. 3 sacks against the Raiders. And what do those 3 sacks give him? 18 sacks on the year in 11 games. That's never been done in NFL history. He's got 13 sacks in his last 4 games. Can you spell DPOY for me? Because that's what this guy's on the fast track for. Or 2. 22.5 sacks, as we know, is the record by Strahan, right? But in my eyes, unless Garrett can achieve that historic feat in 17 games by week 17, it's an asterisk record. Just like if last year Barkley by week 18 was able to surpass Eric Dickerson for the most rushing yards in a single season, if he breaks the record by week 18 and not 17, it has to be an asterisk. He's got to do it by week 17. I think he needs, 6 sacks in the next 5 games to achieve it? The guy had 5 in a game against the Patriots. We can see it happen. 10 or more sacks in 8 straight seasons for Myles Garrett. 14 was his total last year. He's got 18 through 11 games. That is otherworldly. And shout out to Micah Parsons as well, because he had a nice 2-sack performance against the Vikings. He's got 10 on the year. That's 5th most in the league. Double-digit sacks for Micah Parsons, 5 straight seasons. But Myles Garrett is my number one performer from Week 12. Let me know yours. Stay tuned for next week for Week 13. You got to be locked in on the channel. Hit that subscribe button, baby, because this energy stays for the entire season.